Right.
Yes, Lord. And according to that light right there, that red box, not
Yeah.
the description, that box over there that says I can cuss as much as I want to, but this red one right here says we are live. What up, people? Y'all already know what time it is. And I know y'all sit up here wondering, like, yo, it's Monday. I know it's Monday, but that's all right. When you have a media platform, sometimes, and you have a son that's in the high school band, sometimes your Fridays just ain't your Fridays no more. But that's all right. When you have your own media platform, every day could be whatever day you want it to be. So guess what? It's
Every
Dope
day.
Monday.
Dope
Man,
Monday.
look, every day is a holiday. Doom, 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 doom. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Hey, hey,
Man,
hey,
look.
hey.
But I am here, your host, two-time ATL's hottest DJ, the God DJ Agony, also known as Dr. Dope. Well, our motto is simple: own the building. And of course, when I'm doing dope shit, I got my dope friends in here with me. Like the people always over here on my left. I don't know how it shows up on y'all camera, but right here on my left, it's always gonna be somebody dope if I'm not on here by myself. So, man, tell these folks who you is and what you do, and that they've been living under a rock since March. They bad.
Hey, your boy. Nah, man, it's your boy Music My ATL, man. Just glad to be here, man. Glad to be sharing the platform with the two-time ATL hottest DJ, soon to be three-time, you know what I mean? Third
Woo!
time's the charm, you know what I mean?
It always is. It
You know what I mean?
always
But
is.
nah. But seriously though, man, I'm extremely grateful to you and your recognition and acknowledgement of what I can contribute to the platform as well as the culture.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I feel like I'm a newbie at this, but apparently I've been racking up enough and accumulating enough miles in this game to where it's probably about time for me to go ahead and solidify with my own platform myself. So
I don't see why
um,
not.
yeah, man, you know what I mean? So just be on the lookout. But yes, let's get right to it.
Yeah. Also, one of the things y'all were paying attention last couple of weeks. Y'all noticed that the conversation's been leaning toward well, it started with our brother, my brother, your brother, Larry Hodges. Um,
Larry's.
you know what I'm saying? And found a beer in the conversation, and he had a post about female artists. So that
Right.
post stretched from beer in the conversation, kind of made a side skirt to the quick 30, and now it's here on the dope show. Like, yo, and we gonna rerun it because with a conversation like that, it was more of a series that had to be ran. So if you did not catch the quick 30 from last Wednesday, make sure you go back and check on that because that was my top 10 artists that I felt were better than Meg Thee Stallion, because I was told, since I don't think she's such an innovator, that I'm a hater and I'm out of touch and I don't know what I'm talking about, because they just, ironically enough, they just give these out to anybody apparently. You know what I'm saying? And then they just so happen to give me two because I'm so out of touch and I
Yeah.
couldn't possibly know what I was talking about, right?
You're not. I mean, it's not like you're a two-time ATL hottest DJ and have some sort of credentials to where you would be able to speak upon it in the broader sense of our emerging lexicon of superlative comparisons. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right,
all it is, right? But
right.
you're absolutely right. And see, okay, so here's my thing about Meg. All right, so once again, I never profess to know everything about music. I just think that I present things in a way that just articulates and resonates a little bit differently with people, right? So my thing is with Meg. If Meg had truly okay, so Meg has been allowing. Be careful. Let me start off with this before what I'm saying, before I go too far off. Be
Hmm.
careful what you wish for when it comes to wanting fame and like fame and celebrity and stuff, because a lot of
Mm.
times you'll have a blind spot for what it is that you'll be willing to do and not do,
Mm.
and once people see what you'll be willing to do, now you're extremely vulnerable for the double cross. Because now people
Hmm.
see, what I'm saying, now because people essentially see what your price is, what your limit is, even on the furthest hinterlands of your integrity and your morals, they know how to pinpoint exactly where you're the most vulnerable.
This is true. It's
Um,
it's like one of those people that if you're one of those people that make yourself seem desperate, they're gonna see how far they could pull that. It's like the whole analogy with the carrot in front of the horse. Like they're gonna keep pulling to see how far you willing to go with it?
Yeah, so the problem that I'm having with Meg is that, the same way that she let Rock Nation come in and let her and allowed them to get in her head and disparage Carl Crawford and all of the money that he put forth and trying to and building and investing her career. Rock Nation has been eerily quiet about the stuff that's been coming out recently about, like, so most recently the argument with her and Kelsey is looking more and more as the time goes by that this was an argument, the cat fight that got violent. I don't know whether or not Meg was actually shot. I know that perhaps a gun was discharged, but I would say that the injuries that she sustained were clearly not due to gunshots. Now, why she made it a point to go after Tory Lanez, I think this is a lesson for him to be very, as for all men, to be very careful about how you go between friends. Like, women have a way and have the ability, whether or not they recognize it or not, to weaponize their gender. And what we're
Oh,
seeing
very
is
much so.
we're seeing a weaponization of Meg Thee Stallion, in terms of Tory Lanez. But now the evidence is really looking like it's her and Kelsey. They've been beefing back and forth. They got into it this in the past couple of days. And they're basically going to have to air this out in court. But either way it goes, it looks like Tory is ultimately innocent. But the only thing he's really guilty of doing is being a simp. That's really the only thing he's guilty of. Nah, I mean, I fuck with Tory. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with Tory. I,
Yeah,
I, I
I'm
think
about to
Tory.
say,
I think Tory is immensely talented, but in this case, he simped out for some exotic pussy, and it cost him.
yeah, and it's one of those things where nothing's illegal about being a simp. So there's
Nothing's
that part.
illegal about it, but the repercussions of having such a blind spot, just doing shit for people, because essentially, like, they bonded over the fact that she had lost her mother and he had lost his mother, so they're bonding. But you're living a very fast-paced lifestyle, and you've introduced your best friend who is not a celebrity. So your friend doesn't necessarily know how to measure herself around other celebrities. So she's hanging around you, Tory Lanez, Kylie Jenner, like all of these. She's gonna fuck this nigga.
Oh,
It
she's
only
in.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, because the
It
thing
only
is,
makes sense.
the dude that she come from, all he could do was get her a 4 for 4, but she still got to pay for the Uber for him to get there. Fries gonna
hey,
be cold and shit.
hey,
So
hey, for real.
that's what
Hey,
she
for
used to
real.
coming from. So now you see all this money, this status, this cocaine there. What hell yeah, she gonna fuck somebody before she left. It's gonna
So if
happen.
Meg was smart, Meg should have just established it to where they like, whether or not people want to believe it or not, these dudes in these industries, they got chicks that everybody know, and they fuck them to get, like we know that's the chick that we don't care. We know you and you. We know this rapper and this rapper smashing this chick. We know, like, that's her rotation. Like, they be having rotations like that. Meg
And you
wasn't
know what?
smart.
That used to boggle the mind, particularly back in the day, when Superhead was around. And it's
Oh
just
man,
like
she done
if
hit the wall so hard. Oh my
it's
gosh.
like if you know that this chick's reputation, she's saying she getting out of one rapper bed, climbing into another. Why would you fuck with this bitch? But then if you look at it, you flip that coin, that's you're aligned. But you had Eddie Winslow falling in love with her. You had what was the talk show host, Daily Show.
Who?
Was it the Daily Show? It was a talk show host that had got real into her. Finna marry her and shit.
Talking about not Trevor Noah.
No, no, no. This is way before him.
Oh. Mm, mm, mm.
Um, I couldn't tell you. I know he had a Jewish last name. It's like Cohen or Coher, something like that. Very Jewish name.
Colbert.
Huh?
Stephen Colbert.
Was it Kobe? No, 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 no. I don't think it was him either.
This
This
was a
dude,
white.
yeah, dude been around for a minute. But yeah,
Oh,
he
Bill Maher.
Bill
Bill
Maher. There we go. Bill
Bill
Maher. But yeah,
Bill.
like it's like if you know that superhead's reputation and she just moves and maneuvers around the rappers, why is dudes like Bill Maher and Eddie Winslow trying to wife her?
Cause she is not regular head, nigga. She is super head, bruh. I mean, it's not regular. It's not mid grade. It's super, super duper. Did she skipped over premium?
Yeah, right. That's very
She
much.
skipped over premium head. She skipped right over premium head. Went straight this. Went straight.
Man, we definitely talking about 97 at that point. They ain't even 93, 94
Nah,
no more.
but for real. But back to Meg though, man. Like, so my issue with Meg, like Meg is just like I said, she's just ultimately she's not, and it's not to say that she's not talent, that she's talentless. She's just not, excuse me, she's just not abundantly talented.
True.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like there's a place for there's a place for artists of every level, right?
Yeah.
It, you can't ascribe this level of success to her and it's not translating into areas that are measurable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So be measurable with her record sales, the impact and the resonance of her music amongst the culture. We should be able to go and look at her stats, right?
But I think it goes beyond that. I think that's only a
But
part of it.
I know, but I'm making a point though.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at all the awards that she's received over the past 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
you look at how her albums never debut in the top 10 or top 15, you have
Mm.
to wonder, are you a made up artist? Because
Yeah.
if you had really been us, if Meg was my artist, and I've said this plenty of times, but if Meg was my artist and she really got shot, I would have her next album would have been a Netflix special because I would have documented every aspect of her rehab, her recording the album. It would have been a documentary and all that shit would have been released on the same day. Her album, the Netflix series, all that shit. It would have all been released on the same day. But when you're not really shot, when I'm just saying when you're not really shot, you have to kind of create. That's why she kept changing her story.
Story did keep changing. What else? I got my boy Slim in the building, aka Quentin Presley, Antonio Slim, goddamn culture nerds. Happy belated to you. Dude, give me a second, man. You know what? It's too good to not let Slim in the building. Also, I got my boy Christian in the building. What up, DJ Four Stripes in the building? I ain't seen you in a long time. Where you been, Sarge? Holla at your boy, man. We here. Shit. But yeah, man, like that was the funny thing about the whole Meg thing was that her story kept changing.
Then she tried to hit you with it. Well, I'm trying to protect the black man. Nah, no, you wouldn't. Because if you were trying to protect the black man, it wouldn't even you would have said that to Rock Nation. You'd have said no. I'm not going to go with this narrative. That's not what happened. But you started to create and fabricate a storyline. Started right. Hey, appreciate that. But yeah,
Got,
like I mean,
got
you
Nicole Shelton in the building, checking in, talking that
yeah,
good shit. What's up with you?
man, that my peach right there. That's my homie for real, for real. Love her.
What up, Shelter?
So so you sit up here, you know what I mean? You're creating this whole narrative, but you're having to change it back and forth. Like you keep moving the goalposts. And like I said, it
Mm.
right here was just so polarizing in our community. Number one, I think it's astonishing the fact that we can allow you know what I'm saying, these type of cultural stories and situations to become phenomena and really, really allow us to gauge where our thought process is as a people. Because we were having now it was engaging to have real conversations about like about violence in our community, especially between black men and black women. But I think that it was very problematic how it was one-sided and everybody for the most part collectively was just like that nigga did it.
That is true. It was, and I have to agree. It was very one sided.
So when you have male artists who are threatening violence against him without having the facts, when those same artists have accusations levied against them, they're going to say, "Hey, I deserve due process as well," right?
Yeah.
So think about all the money that Tory has lost. Think about having this attached to his name, to his brand. This nigga has released like 3 fire ass projects since this has happened. He released Daystar. He released it was Daystar, it was another one, but the most recent one is Alone at Prom. Like, listen to Alone at Prom is so fucking good that it made Weekend release his Dawn FM early, like early. Because
Alone at Prom.
if y'all are not listening to Tory Lanez because of what y'all think that he did, then with the latest allegations against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, which has been video documented that they were grooming this little boy, like the accountability can't be selective like this. Like that
So
shit.
wait a minute. So that wasn't a spoof?
Man, dude, you're not finna spoof my fucking kid like that, dude. You're not finna take my kid and use my kid as a spoof. If that's the case, then animate that shit. Just animate. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Just animate it. We got all of this creative stuff. Just animate it. If you know what I'm saying, if you're trying to create a PSA, why do you have to use a real live 7-year-old boy?
Like, I get what you're saying.
Like,
I just the whole time I thought that was spoofed. Like I really didn't take it serious for that reason.
The thing about this is you can't joke around with anything that has to do with kids. Like, I'm not going to separate the difference between, oh, it's a spoof and you doing it, and the only difference is that you're telling me how to think about this. You're telling me how to view it is what you're doing.
Well, I mean, was Surviving R. Kelly not the same thing?
Surviving R. Kelly was it not necessarily, because these actions had already been deemed that collectively had been deemed to have been taken place.
Allegedly.
So election is anecdotal at this point.
Allegedly. Because the thing was, it was not how you say R. Kelly wasn't impartial. It was that Surviving R. Kelly was definitely geared toward that nigga did it, he guilty, and this is why.
So this is a great question. Philly's, you know what I'm saying? Philly raises a great question. Like, so if the parent knew about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would they let them go? So here's the thing, like, and I don't know for sure, because because Tiffany Haddish she just came out and made a statement saying that she was just playing a part in a script, which if you look at the video, even the heavily edited version of the video, it's no, you provided the actual actor. So whatever was going on between Tiffany Haddish and the mother, I'm thinking that there was some sort of semantics or some sort of play on words, because I'm going to give the mother the benefit of the doubt and say, I'm not going to think that she would knowingly let her child go get her 7-year-old son knowingly get in a tub naked with a grown man. Like, I just don't think a mother. Now, it's been some crazy shit going on. Don't get me wrong. It's been some mothers out there that has been deleting their kids left and right lately.
Yeah, it's some mothers that's some mothers. It's a mother of some mothers.
But this was about 10 years ago. You know what I mean? This was a while ago. And we didn't have the same prevalence that we have of social media now, the same ease of access. We were getting there, but it just wasn't quite the same. So I'm going to give the mother the benefit of the doubt and say that in this era, getting some money, trusting a celebrity, all of those things psychologically will come into play. We typically tend to trust people just because of their status, just because we've seen them on TV. There's a lot that goes into it. I was just going to give her the benefit of the doubt and think that she would not knowingly send her child into the lion's den. But the daughter, who's now 24, they separated her. So this is how I know it was some bullshit. They separated the two together, right? What they came together, you know what I'm saying? It was the daughter, it's the sister and the brother. The brother's younger when the daughter, you know what I'm saying? Obviously the sister's older. The sister's going to obviously be more protective and have that maternal instinct. She's not going to let anything happen to her brother, right? Mm-hmm. They separated her and then they took the brother upstairs. Mm-hmm. So some time goes down, you know what I'm saying? Some time goes by. You got this boy imitating, you know what I'm saying, phallic phallic type of imagery with the train. Like, it's very, very clear that you're exploiting this boy in the name of a spoof. Like, that's not fucking cool. But once the boy is in the bathtub naked and there's a grown man in the tub with him, if that's my child, like, and clearly something happened because the sister described him screaming in a way that was like, I'm hurting scream, not like I'm a hungry or I'm upset. It was like, no, like I'm in pain. Something
Right.
happened because Tiffany Haddish had a relationship with the family for, she was keeping in contact with them, and then started getting real Hollywood and started distancing herself, was treating them different. Something happened. Something happened. Period. And it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And once again, we up here, we done spent two years trying to figure out who stepped on what, who stepped on some fake glass or a bullet or whatever the case. And you got these celebrities taking kids, like spoof or not, like Tiffany. Like, why would you even be involved in? Because at this point, I can speak on it because she spoke on it. So
That's
since she
public.
spoke on it, I'm like, you like that's some bullshit. And the only reason we found out about this is because of the arrogance of Aries Spears. That is the only reason we found out about this.
He's been on one lately.
And let's just be honest. For the culture, how relevant has he been since Mad TV?
Proud family.
Bruh. It don't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, the shit just don't just jump up off your head like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like
Right.
Aries
He did
Spears,
a lot of voices for
no,
Proud Family.
no, this nigga has been the least fucking qualified to speak on anything culturally relevant in the past 5 years, minimum. So yeah, it make a lot of sense that they done got rid of your ass because you keep talking about Lizzo. And I'm not saying that Lizzo doesn't come with her own set of materials or variables or whatever the case. Because you got to be real cautious about how you even speak on her. But she making these people money.
Yeah.
And you're not making anyone money. So when you start speaking on someone that's making money, now all of a sudden you done got everybody fucked up because you wouldn't shut the fuck up about this lady. Shut up about her, or we're gonna shut you up because we're still using her to make money.
Yeah, right. We ain't through yet.
We not through with her, and you keep coming after her, and you don't make anybody any money, my nigga. No.
Let's help you out with that little problem there.
So, and to be honest, if you look at Aries Spears' behavior, he loves the fucking dude Bill Cosby. This nigga Bill Cosby is one of his favorite impressions that he loves to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes psychologically you can embody something so much. You know what I'm saying? The way it's just like it actually becomes a part of your practice. Because I can't really think of anything outside of that he's really, really talented on. I don't now. Apparently, when he was doing the stuff with Shaq, when he was doing the
the All-Star Comedy Shaq.
Yeah, the All-Star Comedy tours and all that stuff. Apparently, he was always winning those, so he had a little bit of cultural relevancy then. But a lot of stuff that Aries Spears has said over the past 15 years that I know of is just basically him being a contrarian. And I'm not even going to say 15 years. I'm going to say the past 5 years. Because culture changes. Like 5 years is like 3 generations in our culture almost, if you think about it.
These are facts.
You know what I mean? So that nigga has been more of a contrarian, saying things that are, that come off a little bit more polarizing. Versus funny, clever, witty, insightful, poignant, any of those things,
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's one of those things, like you said, he hasn't been relevant in quite some time. And a lot of times you end up putting your foot in a hole or in your mouth, searching, trying to do things for relevance.
I just like I said, it's one of the reasons why I don't have kids. For real. But overall, man, Meg ain't talented. Meg makes decent music. Now I got to go back to this shit, man, because we can't go into 2023 lying to ourselves. There's a lot of great fucking music out there. You
Absolutely.
let these people tell you that Meg Thee Stallion is the pinnacle of what you can listen to musically and artistically. You are doing yourself a disservice.
A horrible disservice. Because I've been learned, and you know what? If he jump in here sometime later and he'll tell you, my boy Slim was the one that told me. He was like, hip hop ain't never been dead. He was like, it's radio. If you go to network radio for hip hop, then yeah, you will think that the whole thing's dead. But step away from network radio. Go out here and really go to some of these house shows. Um, just dig in some crates, and you will find that it's some good
When
relevant artists out
so
here.
exactly, Agony. So when has that paradigm ever not been that way?
It's always been that way. It's
So
always been that way. We can go, I mean, go back in years for every James Brown and Little Richard you heard of. There was Lil Walters out there. There was you know what I'm saying? There was those guys you didn't hear from that often. Or no, I said that often. You didn't hear from them guys at all. You
well,
had to be in that town
well,
where
Lil
they
Walter
were.
did. Well, Lil Walter didn't make it. He did make it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It wasn't. It was, albeit it was in the late '80s. He still made it. So
Good.
yeah, he.
Sharon, what up, brother?
What happening? What's happening? Appreciate everybody tuning in, man.
Definitely,
We
definitely,
just
man.
have
I'm
a simple dialogue, man. So
seeing this number jump tonight, man. I'm like, okay, I like where this is going.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, appreciate
So
everybody that's in here right now. Like I said, drop something in the chat so that I know that you here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Virgo season, man. It's Virgo season, man. Appreciate all the birthday love, man. This past week, man, it's been amazing.
oh yeah, we got
Um,
another birthday this past week.
yeah, man. Yeah, you know what I mean. I know. Apparently Virgos are pretty controversial, but worldwide, statistically, the most popular birthday is September 9th, which by definition would mean that there would be more Virgos than anybody else. So
September 9th.
we not perfect, but when you call us, when you need us, there's rarely a time that you say a Virgo ain't been there for you. So we appreciate
Gemini season, all you.
all the love, man. We genuinely love everybody. We just got to learn how to love ourselves just a little bit better.
You got these tripolar Geminis out here.
I mean, see, it's the audacity and the fucking rudeness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually in Virgo season. See, thank you, Jocelyn. That's what I'm talking about. Jocelyn cute too. See, she got sense. No disrespect. I see your name is hyphenated. No disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate the birthday love. I appreciate you showing, you know what I'm saying, showing what it's supposed to be like instead of shouting out what you are. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be your season. Jeez.
In June.
Next year.
Parent had fun on New Year's. That's
I mean, actually, if you think about it, the range would be more like from Thanksgiving to New Year's. If you think,
I was about to say I give it more Christmas if anything.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, think about it. Thanksgiving to Christmas is really like 3 weeks.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
other
That
weeks
was
to New Year's.
that was that. Ah, shit, man, I ain't making about a stove getting no goddamn criminal gear.
Bruh, we are celebratory.
I got to wing it this Christmas.
Yup. So, but ain't nobody perfect, man. Ain't nobody perfect, man. We just out here, man, just trying to just spread some love, man. You know what I mean? Just let
Oh
it
yeah.
go.
And
Hey,
maybe somebody can learn something in between time.
yeah, man. So what
In
you
the
got for
between
me?
time.
What
So we were on the subject of Bill Cosby. And what's
in
the dude
the
the huh?
No, I'm tripping.
But the dude, what is his name? Kamani Bell on the same?
Who you talking about?
Yeah.
Kamal Bell? You talking about the dude that does the United Nations of Color thing on CNN? That dude with the afro?
You know what? And for a while I had bought into dude.
You
I
talking about,
bought it.
is that who you talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, okay, bet.
You know, he looked like Crush Love without the drumsticks.
That's bro. That's what I was thinking. And
Right.
like mine is like 150 pounds too. No disrespect to Questlove, but I mean when I saw him at the Grammys, I was like, damn nigga, you are too old to be carrying around that much weight, my nigga. You just too goddamn old, nigga. You almost get that fucking weight off, bro.
Dig, but um the agenda is so strong out here to really get Bill Cosby. Like now, mind you, Bill Cosby's at the crib now. He made this documentary, and I'm thinking he's making a documentary
Oh
on the
yeah,
side of the brother, right? Like,
yeah.
hey, Bill Cosby, we here for you. We standing strong with you. We know you ain't do it. Dude, he just created a whole nother joint. It's almost like a surviving R. Kelly, but it's a fucking dude, a black dude in front of it. It's gotten so bad that it wasn't getting any traction on Showtime. You know, they put all the episodes on YouTube for free just to get it seen.
Yeah, my bro just watched. I think my bro watched it last week. And we were talking about it. I think he might have sent me the link too. My thing is between him and Hannibal Buress, because Hannibal Buress was the one who initially kind of brought this to light. For whatever reason, I have no idea what was the reason. Because Bill Cosby, because I was actually having this conversation with one of my friends they didn't know the legacy, the educational, intellectual, archival legacy that Bill Cosby had created in the mid late 70s through the early 80s. Like
Right.
this was making like all kind of documentaries and like all kind of educational materials. Like there's a reason why he has a doctorate in education, y'all. Like these like they didn't just fucking give it to him. Like he
Uh,
really is.
Well, well, here's the thing though. I mean, it was an honorary doctorate, but they even decided to take a piss on that. It was like, oh, well, it was an honorary doctorate.
Back,
I'm like,
but hold on,
motherfucker, they didn't give you one.
but
Like the thing is, for to even get an honorary doctorate, you got to be doing something.
the point is that an honorary doctorate in 2022 ain't the same as an honorary doctorate in 1984.
These are facts.
One in 84, you have to be a lot more substantial because you got to work harder for people to know what you're actually doing. You can't just be an influencer to get that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. So, but my whole point was that not knowing the real legacy of what Bill Cosby stood for from a standpoint of knowing who you are and where you come from, when you understand how aggressive he was with that, it won't sound as much as a conspiracy as people immediately wanted to like dismiss. Like, oh no, this ain't no conspiracy. Yeah, if
Yes,
you
it is.
knew what he was really about.
Oh, what's in this cup? Laughter and good times. I got my big bro Sharon in the building. Also got my little
Shots,
bro
shots out.
Shells in the building. What up, young boy?
Hey, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up.
You know what I'm saying? We got some more comments from Nicole Shelton in here. Bill went to her high school. But
Hey,
hey,
hey. She is gonna rep Philly like all day. I love it too.
oh,
I
well
love
there you go.
Now I love it. I love
There
it.
you
I love
go.
it. Matter of fact, she's the only black person that I know that went to Penn State. Like for real.
Oh wow, that's
That's
big.
crazy.
That's
That shit
big time.
crazy. Killed that
And then,
shit.
and then the fact that she ain't no quarterback and went to Penn State. That's big
Hella
time
smart.
right there.
Hella like nah, I'm just saying, like hella smart for real, for real.
I can't do nothing but agree with that. That's big shit. Big shouts out to you, man. They're flawed and we expect them to be who we see on TV. That's true too. But my biggest thing is Bill didn't do all that shit. I don't think Bill did a portion of it.
I don't
I'm,
necessarily agree with that. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you what I think was going on. This is what I think was going on. In an era where everyone is doing, in an era where everyone, okay, this is my analogy right here. Have you ever been to a demolition derby?
you mean like with the cars and shit?
Yeah, you ever been to a demolition derby?
Okay, yeah.
So imagine going to a demolition derby and it's like 100 cars in this demolition derby, and 15 years later, one driver files a hit and run claim on you from that demolition derby.
A hit and run. Bitch, you knew what this was.
You understand? You see my so in a day and age, when in that time everybody's drug of choice was cocaine and quaaludes to bring you back down. Cocaine to keep you going, the quaaludes to bring you back down.
Thanks.
You got 15-year-olds in the Playboy Mansion, and 40, 50 years later, you're gonna come after one black man. Like, I'm not saying that he did or that he didn't. I'm just saying that it's very, very suspicious that you target one person when everybody was participating in the demolition derby. You
Thanks.
make an insurance claim like all these years later, like, oh, this nigga hit and ran. How do you know? How do you even really know? You don't know, because everybody was doing the same shit.
Right. Yeah, one thing that's a huge factor, money. Indeed. I mean,
Nah, you can't put it past Bill, but I'm not saying that I'm not speaking on innocence. That's not what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on the selective pursuant.
but that's when we start
So
talking agenda.
it's selective. They went after Bill Cosby so hard they had no choice but to put Harvey Weinstein in jail.
You're right.
Like,
Big shouts out to my LF in the building. What up, Shouter?
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we in the damn demolition derby. You gonna come back 50 years later and gonna file a claim, talking about but you leave out the fact that everybody was doing quaaludes and coke and drinking and shit. You leave out all that shit.
Right. And you gotta think too. Bill had money, so Bill knew how to get good dope. So if you came to Bill Cosby house, you wasn't getting none of that Reggie. You was
Bruh,
getting something that was gonna put you down, make you sit down and stay down.
you getting that Miami Vice dope. You getting that dope.
Oh, come on now. This you know how many Cubans shot out with other half of the Colombians to get
Bruh,
this dope here?
you getting that blue, that midnight blue magic, boy. You getting the bluest of the blue magic. And
big shout, big
Carolina,
shout,
but I'm just saying.
big shouts out to my brother Latif. Somebody gonna give me a chair. Hey, this chair comfortable. Just give me a seat cover. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the analogy was good. The analogy was ghetto gold. It hit. It's just hell no. You ain't finna sue me over no damn demolition derby. You knew what it was. The fuck.
that's what I'm saying. And then okay. Then the woman that they used to convict Bill Cosby with the sideshow Bob looking chick. The chick that for all not to generalize and judge a book by its cover, but at minimum she was androgynous. At minimum she was
As hell.
androgynous.
As hell.
David Bowie looked more feminine than she did.
Hell, Boy George did shit.
You
That
know,
lady she was androgynous as shit. It's
so,
like and
so
she was handsome than a motherfucker.
nigga, jawline was chiseled than the motherfucker.
Man, we talking like Bruce Jenner shit.
But that's the whole point. But that's the whole point. Bill was trying to buy NBC because Bill had accumulated an archive. He was buying a lot of stuff. He was buying a lot of educational materials. You got to think like NBC was doing like a lot of shorts and stuff. You had like the More You Know campaign. There was a whole lot of stuff that NBC was doing that was in line with who Bill Cosby was from an academic, from an academic standpoint. So it would make sense. He would want to buy NBC. It would make sense.
I mean, he had been with that network forever though.
And had built the relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at this point in time, it's like you got a relationship with your bank. You done got a couple of loans from them. You know what I mean? It's just like now you want to go into for some real business because they done made money off of you. You done made money. Now let's take this thing to the next level. But it's like, no, because the information that Bill Cosby was archiving, that was the type of shit that was going to change the landscape when there was already an agenda to kind of destroy the image of black people through TV. You know what I mean? So just think if Bill Cosby had actually was able to purchase NBC. Think about a different world. think about how many spinoffs from a different world we would actually have.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So,
Facts. A Different World was a great fucking show.
so speaking of, it's a quick segue, possibly a digression, right?
Come on in.
But the two greatest shows, I think, if you're a '90s kid, the two greatest shows, uh, Martin, Martin. I don't really think there's a show better than Martin for us. I mean, Martin's really the best. Like, what's funnier than Martin, nigga?
Um,
What's funnier than Martin?
if we talking strictly 90s, I'm gonna be honest. I check out on Martin season 3. After he got married, I usually check out. There were some good jewels in 4 and 5. LF, you in the building, jump in the chat right quick. They talking about Martin. Oh Lord, this dude.
Oh yeah, Lisa Bonet. Ooh.
Oh shit.
Lisa Bonet done hit that wall too, though.
Ah.
Exactly. And the second one is Living Single. Exactly,
But
Sharon.
you would put those over Different World?
Yes. And I'm gonna tell
No.
you why.
I,
Different world is number 3. Because
exactly, LF. After season 3, it's a wrap for Martin.
uh
And I feel the same. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I feel the same way about Fresh Prince. Once they switched Aunt Viv's, which was after season 3, it was
yeah,
a done deal for me.
I was just having this conversation today. Like, Will Smith is not intrinsically funny though. Like, he's like voluntarily funny. Like, you don't have involuntary laughs looking at Will Smith. Martin had.
Nah, Will Smith's one of those ones he studied his comedy. Like who else outside of Eddie Murphy knew breaking the fourth wall was a comedic technique at 22 years old.
Yeah, but it wasn't G14 classified, so it you know what I'm saying. So just a little bit of research created some great innovation, right? But that's also one of my biggest complaints about him was that he overused it. He used it to the point to where it was no longer effective. He
You
over
think so?
I think so. I watch Fresh Prince all the time, probably a little bit too much, and then I've been watching this Surviving Benny Medina or Surviving Fresh Prince document. It's like a amateur docu-series on YouTube. And it's just
Really?
it talks about the alleged relationship between Benny Medina and Will Smith. So I've been watching, the Fresh Prince to kind of see what was going, to kind of see if I can kind of chronicle and see how, and kind of see how things developed from the allegations or the associations made between Benny Medina and Will Smith.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Martin is perfect, but I'm saying I think for what it represented black love, it represented financial success, it represented creativity, it represented black female empowerment, it represented a lot of stuff on that show. You know what I'm saying? Black entrepreneurship, and you know what I'm saying, like, and it was consistently funnier involuntarily than any other show I could think
In
of.
Involuntarily, I'll give you that one because I'm gonna be honest. I've yet to see a moment on Will Smith where the cast is trying not to break character.
Exactly, and that's
But
my
Martin has multiple moments
multiple,
like that to where
multiple,
Tommy's like this, Pam's
multiple,
like this, Cole
multiple.
has to look over here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit.
The dog,
The dog in the
the
CD
fake dog,
player.
the fake dog.
That's it. And then the dog falls over. Now lay down.
That but I mean that but then after they got married, there was an absurdity to the writing style, especially when they started to beef a little bit. And to be honest, I really personally got to think that Tisha Campbell unnecessarily brought that empire down. You know what
Oh,
I'm
duh.
saying? Unnecessarily.
But yeah, I have to agree with you, Sharon. Will Smith, great actor, but yeah, like as far as
He not
pure comedian, no,
he
no.
not
And you got to think, what happened before Martin started? If memory serves correct, before the show got started, wasn't that when Martin did "You So Crazy" to stand up?
he was. You So Crazy, I want to say is 93.
And That was what, like, first season of
It's
the
all,
show then,
all
right?
right at the same time. It's all like he's blowing up all around the same
And
time.
You So Crazy was nuts.
Bruh, Martin,
Dude, how many people you remember walking around chilling like a motherfucker?
bruh, I didn't even know what that meant, and I said that shit all the way till I graduated high school, my nigga.
Chilling like a motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, but like I said, Martin is just pure comedic genius, bro. Like pure, it's just pure.
Oh, we got a contrary. After rewatching Martin, really wasn't that funny to me. Still funny, but not gut busting hilarious.
I you know I respect that. I respect that, Mr. Shelley, because I feel like at a time I'm going to assume that you're around our age. So at a time when we were watching it 25 years ago, our perception of what life was like, we didn't like, yeah, that shit was amazingly innovative to us at that time.
You know what? Martin had so many references. Like a good example, the other day, let me find her. Boom. So the other day, me and my LF having a conversation, and she said DP talking about something totally different. First thing that came to my mind, Dead Plumber.
Matter of fact, I think the episode came on today. He was like, "Yeah, man, I go into this stupor where it looks like my heart stopped."
And he said, "Well, how come we couldn't find a heart rate? I'm fat. Sometimes it's hard to find."
Funny. But once again, because you're able to be, you know what I'm saying, because you're able to actually go through the Rolodex of episodes and kind of unpack them, it shows the legacy and the depth, you know what I'm saying, the comedic genius.
I'll
Cause
give you that.
and I'm not saying that it's a perfect show. I'm not saying
Nah,
that, but I'm saying if we had 5 categories, I think Martin would rank at like the top tier out of at least 3 of those 5 categories, arbitrarily speaking. And because of that, I think it just has to be like the best overall show for us. And I'm gonna put Living Single at a close second.
yeah,
But
I just can't put either one
that's
of
just
those two above Different World. And if we're talking about just strictly comedies, okay, I give you that because Different World wasn't a just set forward straight comedy.
and it was over by 92. It started in the it's you got to think now, it wasn't really in the 90s. It didn't start in the 90s.
That's true
That's
because
why
the
I'm like,
last season was the LA riots, which
yeah, it
was
was like
92.
90, like 91, early 92.
It was like 92 going in.
And
It was like 92 going into 93 actually.
okay, and Debbie Allen had took such a huge risk in directing the LA Riot series is that's probably what cost them the contract renewal.
That's exactly what did it. I mean, you can hear them. They'll tell you that. Peace to my brother Jahad Yusuf in the building. Yo, check it out. Friday, he will be sitting right there, right
Right
there,
there, right there,
right there. So, yo,
right
y'all,
there.
y'all make sure to check out his podcast as well. Yo, hey, he telling some of that truth that maybe y'all need to hear but didn't know you wanted to hear type situations. You might want to check this brother out. He
I'm
telling
tuning,
y'all some things you need to know.
I'm tuning in.
No doubt, no doubt. Got my boy Shells in the building. I agree with the representation of black though. I mean, the '90s was black as hell, Shells.
Oh yeah, oh
The
yeah,
'90s
oh
was
yeah.
like we owned TV in the '90s. You know, outside of shows like your 90210s and your Melrose Place, we owned TV.
I
B
think I think
BET was a viable network back then. Like if you didn't see '90s BET, you wouldn't even recognize. That's why people like me can't even recognize what's going on today with the whole Viacom situation because we had real black entertainment television from DC, from Chocolate City. So it was for real by us for us.
I think that I agree. I definitely agree. And to your point, I think that we were used. So a different world of living single and living and in living color. Keenan is an okay. So all right. So cowgirl, DC4L. All right. So to your point, because I'm actually about to tie, like I actually kind of want to tie all this in together. I agree with you. Definitely Keenan really kind of set the tone because what he was able to do in the early stages of like of the of Fox TV, right?
I was just fit to get into Fox, but keep
Yeah.
going.
In like the early, you know what I mean, like the early stages of Fox TV. Fox TV was like the generation. It was like the new gener. It was like the generation X were like in their 20s at this point.
Right. It was like the MTV of network TV.
It was the yep, it definitely was, right? So in living, so the parameters were a little bit more loose. You know what I mean? So they allowed and then if you think about it, Keenan, if it wasn't for Keenan Ivory Wayans, we wouldn't have Jim Carrey. Like we wouldn't have Jim Carrey if it wasn't for Keenan Ivory Wayans.
These are
Like
facts.
Jim fucking Carrey, right? You know what I'm saying? Like one of the greatest
Hmm.
to ever do it, right? So, but once again, my point is that black people, even with the WB, even with UPN, black people's ability, like black people's willingness to just be labeled, like to be like label dependent or like brand loyal to things just for the sake of it's available, is what allows them to market to us, heavily market to us, get those, you know what I'm saying, get those consumer dollars, and then as soon as they get to a certain point, they dip out. They
Mm.
always do it. You know what I'm saying? You would never think that UPN, the WB, and Fox and MTV for the most part, because for real, if it wasn't for Prince and Michael Jackson, they were literally about to boycott the fuck out of MTV for not playing black artists. If it wasn't for us, none of these major media platforms would be what they are. But in the meantime of doing that in the 90s, we're seeing representation on TV, but it's keeping us distracted from the 94 crime bill that's locking all of.
Oh, yeah, the three strikes you out.
It's keeping us distracted because by this point, Clinton's in office. We got money, you know what I'm saying? TVs are getting bigger, SUVs are getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is getting bigger, but we're not noticing it's but it's distracting us. It's almost like what William Cooper talks about in Behold the Pale Horse. You create
Mm. Speak on it.
you create monumental distractions of consumerism. You give people bread and wine, and they'll never know that you're preparing the rope to lead them to slaughter. They'll never know. So I think I'm going to say I'm going to concede and I'm still going to have Martin at number one, but I'm going to say two A and two B would be Living Single in Different World. Most
Yeah. And like I said, Mark, I mean, different word, I wouldn't look at it as a straight comedy. It's just as far as just good show. You know what I'm saying? It was like shit. Hey, I never got to go to a HBCU. So school days and in living color. School days and different world was all I had.
And then okay, so once again, and we all know that because of A Different World, like HBCU attendance skyrocketed, like it's almost immeasurable, right? So we know, yeah, J Lo was a fly girl. Yeah, definitely J Lo was a fly girl.
Yeah. I would say that was season 3 when they brought in Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm. And
Hmm.
what's crazy is that Sean Wayans was actually the fucking DJ early on.
I use the term DJ loosely because I didn't see no wires coming out the back of that damn mixer.
He was SW1. Don't play him
He
like that.
was DJ
He
SW1, but I ain't see no
was-
damn wires coming out that mixer.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. But whole conversation on the phone, not even plugged up. Hanging with Mr. Cooper was good, but it wasn't a quality though. Even the filter that it was shot with, it was meant to be like an average like an average show. It wasn't meant to be over the top good. They would have spent more money on they would have spent more money on actors, but that was his opportunity to kind of blow up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Once you get the opportunity to get a show, you done had a backroom conversation. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get a show without having to have a conversation with the powers that be. Whether or not it's Monique, whether or not it's the Wayans brothers, whether or not it's Keenan, you know what I mean? So Keenan and Robert Townsend probably really Flip Wilson probably paved the way for all of them.
Yeah.
Monk should listen to how who feel about Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey acting. I'm guessing you're talking about Keenan.
Oh, Keenan. He might not, you know what? He might not. They look, I don't, that's interesting because over the past 30 years, I haven't really heard much conversation or dialogue that acknowledge like now Jim Carrey does acknowledge it, but it's not like it's a part of his, like his origin story. Even though it is, he doesn't necessarily speak on it because he's some existential character now at this point. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, at a time he was speaking on it. I will say that. But it's like now maybe not so much. But I remember at one time Jim Carrey would make it a point to say, "Yo, because of black actors and black directors, I got a chance to get on when SNL didn't want me and Live a Color did."
Yeah, yeah. Now, I mean, what and I think I have heard him say some stuff like that. But I mean, I also think at the end of the day, seasons are seasons for what I'm saying. I mean, even if someone like stops on the side of the road and helps you change a tire, what I mean, you might think about them. If you run into them, you might recognize them, but you don't necessarily mean that y'all about to be family friends forever. But they did do something for you.
Right.
And I mean, I lowered it down a little bit, right? Like I downgraded it to just like helping somebody on the side of the road, but essentially a leg up is a leg up, right?
True.
But how much does someone owe you in terms of a relationship if you guys may or may not necessarily be compatible on that level?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those type things. Like I don't
Yeah, I
think Jim
feel you.
Carrey was.
Corey Jones, I feel you. My bad.
Yeah. Got my boy Jones in the building. Yo, if y'all want bunt cakes and or muffins, Corey's Heavenly Cakes. Holla at my boy, man. I told y'all,
Hey,
I know somebody that does some of everything. Like I said, Corey's Heavenly Cakes right here. Cakes, muffins, all that good stuff. Holla at my boy, man.
holla at your boy.
Oh, okay. That was JT that was talking about Jim Carrey. And you know what? With that big shouts out to Big Country 50. There's no telling what he liable to say about actually anything. So there's that. That could have been anything. That could have went anywhere. But I
Right.
mean, my thing is with that era of sitcoms, it's like you said, in Living Color I mean not in Living Color, like you want to say that Different World did come from more of the late 80s going into early 90s. Because like I said, after that LA riot situation, NBC was like, yeah, no, we didn't say this could be this damn black.
They
What
had
the hell
Sister
y'all doing
Soldier.
over here?
They had Sister
Oh
Soldier on
Lord.
part two of that episode.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord, we got the problem, Charlie. We got the problem, child, in the building.
Yeah,
hey, there you go.
My boy Antonio
yeah,
Slim is in the building. First of all, happy
yeah.
birthday, boy.
Happy
Man, what's
birthday to
good,
you.
y'all? Mark,
Happy
what's up, nigga?
birthday to you. What's good, man? Long time, long time.
Man, what? You got
Slim,
the
what you been had going on, man? Because I ain't seen your ass in a long. I don't forgot like yo, we were friends. Then you had the hell this dude done went.
nigga. You don't answer your phone,
Dude, I work during the day, okay? Like
nigga. I work all the time. Well, I swear, if I had some $1 million shit, man, listen. If niggas had to, if I had to call you and niggas done tied me up, fuck me and rob me, I'm just a dead, tired, dead, robbed, fuck motherfucker. You ain't getting
Hey man, hey, but you know what though? At least this nigga leave the read receipts on, so you'll know if he read your text message or not.
this nigga. Man, no, I be calling this motherfucker, man. This nigga call Agony. I don't hear from the nigga. Then like a week later, what's up, nigga? Nigga, I could have died by then. Don Julio in the cup. What's good?
Oh wow. Yo, hey Shells, I don't need you co-signing
Man,
this bullshit, man.
hey man, hey man.
Look,
Put
just send me a text if
your
y'all
show up.
can't find me.
Put your dope, and put your dope show up.
Man,
Well,
listen, this nigga don't answer the phone. He'll hit you a week nine. John, you ain't lying. He'll hit you. It'll be a week later, and
I
then
think he
he'll be
has.
like, "Yeah, nigga, you didn't change the beard up and shit, nigga. Do that."
Something, man. I'm doing like a half Arabic, half Amish type thing right now.
Man, look, this all the picture I'm ever gonna get. And like, fuck y'all.
Slim, what you been had moving, man? Talk to these people, man. We been having a conversation right now, really about Meg, goddamn TV, Cosby. To just jump in, man.
Where you want me to start at? Where you want me to start?
Just jump in wherever, man. You've been watching,
I
I'm
got
sure, because I've seen the comments.
um. What about Bill Cosby?
Um, Monk, tell them about the demolition derby, man, because this is an interesting perspective.
All right, so so here's my perspective. I'm not saying that Cosby is guilty or innocent. That's not my.
That nigga did that shit.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that there's no way for anybody to know 45 years after the fact, especially with who they convicted him with. But that's another story. But if we're damn, he said at least you get a call back, Slim. Hey,
God damn. See, I ain't the only one.
So if it's 100 people in a demolition derby and we all running into each other, crashing into each other, basically trying to disable each other's vehicles, and 30 years later you get an insurance claim for a motherfucker say you hit them and ran in a demolition derby, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? We was all running into each other. What are you talking about? Why are the only motherfucker filing the claim, and why is that claim valid when we were all running into each other? Because that was the whole point.
Because rape and motherfucking crash derby are two goddamn different things. taking pussy and hitting the car from the back are two different things, my brother.
Yeah. I mean, we can virtue signal if we want to, because that's very obvious. But contextually, if someone fucking rapes you, right? Like if someone rapes you, like a rape, not we're partying. I'm talking about a rape. And that's what I'm talking about. Like they're all on cocaine and quaaludes. So everyone's out of their mind. Everyone's fucking
even on cocaine. You can't take pussy when you on cocaine either, dog.
Indiscriminately, because everyone's out of their mind, which means everyone's judgment is impaired. Everyone is liable. Everyone is culpable at that point. How is this man singled out? How the fuck is this man singled out 45 fucking years later?
But you got to understand too, though.
Now, nigga, make me understand, because when your ass gets singled out for some shit, when you get singled out for some shit that everybody else,
hold up,
keep that same energy. I want you to keep that same energy.
Monk, let me talk. Let me talk, my nigga. Let me talk. Okay. Now, as someone who wanted to be a comedian, who studied comedy, I believe wholeheartedly that there is some truth in a joke, right? We all can agree to this, correct? There's always some truth in a joke.
So when we finna get to that Spanish fly shit.
That's one.
All right.
Come on, who in the fuck makes a joke about Spanish fly? Hello. Come on, bro. No, wait. And something else I was thinking about too.
You're proving the guy.
Hold up, dog. Hold up, dog. Okay, so hold up, Monk. Now, Monk, chill, Monk. Chill. Hold on.
Slow. Get to it.
So, remember that episode of Cosby Show at the barbecue?
The barbecue sauce.
And when Bud tried to eat the motherfucking, he took that shit from Bud so damn quick.
Yeah, wiped his tongue off and everything.
Okay, so boom. Let's take that. Let's also think about how he was on the set of the show. Like, these ain't no new claims, bro. This ain't like this shit's been said about Bill Cosby for years. This is no secret. This is some shit that's been said like during the Cosby Show. The thing was, there was no social media back then. The technology and shit we have now, we didn't have then. It was already said that Bill Cosby had kids out of wedlock. It was already said that Bill Cosby was out here taking pussy. This is nothing new, because fucking even Richard Pryor's wife was saying Bill Cosby was on that shit back then. This is nothing new. And people are saying, well, Bill was black. Hey, look, at that period, he wasn't the only one. A lot of them was out here doing that shit. Like I said, it's one thing to be partying. Even if you coked up, pilled up, you still don't have the right to take no pussy. And when you really think about it, hold on till we think about it. You know why a lot of women who have been raped don't say shit?
Virtue signaling like a motherfucker, but I'm gonna let you finish though.
You say I'm doing what like a motherfucker?
You virtue signaling like a motherfucker. Because you're
How, Sway?
because you're talking about robbers. You're talking about honor amongst robbers and thieves. That's what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay,
You're talking about honor versus robbers and thieves. And once again,
I never took no pussy.
You're isolated, but you're automatically isolating them for the behavior of everyone involved in that culture at the time. So if you're going to have this same visceral and this vitriol for Bill Cosby, have that same level for the parents of the 15-year-old girls that's hanging out at the motherfucking Playboy Mansion.
And you know what? And yes, but at the same time too. But guess what? We're not talking about you have this out on charge. Or we talking about, you know what? If that's the case, we're gonna do that. If we're gonna take that level, if we're gonna do it on that level, if we're really gonna, we might as well wipe 95% of these niggas out. If we take out Bill, we gotta take out James Brown because James Brown was a pedo. James Brown was fucking with Tammy Terrell when she was a teenager. James Brown gotta go.
Tammy Terrell was a pass around for everybody.
That don't mean no goddamn. She's 16. Nigga, you fucking a 16-year-old? You fucking a 16-year-old?
Isolated one person though, Slim. That's my point. You isolate one person.
Bill was taking pussy in the 60s, nigga.
Isolate one person.
Bill was taking pussy in the 60s, my nigga.
Where exactly? Elvis definitely got to go.
Nigga, when the fuck? What nigga acknowledges Elvis? What nigga do you know? What nigga shows Elvis love, my nigga? What nigga do you know says, other than Uncle Ruckus, what nigga do you know shows Elvis love? We don't fuck with Elvis. Elvis was a pedo and a cokehead. He's automatically a racist. We don't.
And he racist. And he on the blues.
My point though. You still proving my point because you glossed over, nigga, annihilate this nigga's legacy. Annihilate Elvis's legacy.
Niggas don't give a fuck about Elvis. He's already annihilated.
Niggas, stay off of Bill and go on Elvis. Let's go in chronological motherfucking order.
You reflect. Okay, nigga.
Nah, bro, I'm dead ass serious because you got a lot of energy for Bill Cosby. You got a lot of energy for Bill Cosby for some shit that all the niggas. I got energy
for a lot of niggas. Bill ain't the only one. Bill the only one I got shots for. Agony, am I lying?
You want me to isolate one person out of everybody doing
because Bill is the topic. We didn't say
that's
Bill.
What I'm saying. I can't say whether or not I can say with definitively that he's guilty or not 45 years later. That's my whole point.
But you do understand why? But hold. But you do understand the only reason he got off on a technicality. Even this ain't like you doing shit. This shit happened recently in the early 2000s, my G.
It wasn't a technicality. They said that it should have never been taken to trial in the first place. So how was that a technicality?
But didn't he have a female who recently in the early 2000s, wasn't there a female who went and told immediately that this nigga drugged her? Bill was taking pussy in the early 2000s, nigga. So like I said, he ain't. Is he the only one? No, he's not the only one. Here's my problem with Bill Cosby. Here's my issue with Bill. Like I said, Bill wasn't the only one taking pussy back. I know for a fact he wasn't. I can tell you. Look, my thing with business for Bill. Bill was doing that bullshit and was playing the role with other niggas. When he was here in the early 2000s, did that fucking speech at that Douglasville High School. When he was up there calling black kids animals and talking about the way we talk and all this shit right here, and you a North Philly nigga, you from this environment, and now you done made paper, you looking down on niggas, and you were these kids that you're talking about, fuck you, Bill, period. I love Cliff Huxtable. We as black people, we needed that. We came from a period on TV, we had good times. As much as I think James Evans is the realest TV dad, but think about it. James Evans had very little education. James Evans ran from job to job. They were in the projects. What happened when James Evans he died? They killed him off. We had That's My Mama. The daddy was already dead. Yeah, all these TV shows. I'm playing.
I get what you're saying. We didn't have that shit, nigga. We was watching goddamn Family Matters and goddamn
Family Matters was after the Cosby Show.
I know that's my
exactly. But Jordan looked down on Jordan is the same, but Jordan is the same way. I'm gonna get to Michael Jordan in a minute since you brought it up, Keisha. How you doing? My thing is, the Cosby Show set the tone for the Family Matters and the Fresh Prince. He set the tone for that.
That it
They
did.
won't.
Otherwise, we would have had more good times at Jefferson.
We would have had more. You know what I'm saying? So he did that.
Let me ask you a question. Slim. Let me ask you a question. If you go to buy a brick of cocaine, right? Or just like say you just going to just like go buy something expensive, like now you know what? Let's just keep it to the brick of cocaine, and you got to go meet up with a nigga that's obviously like a drug dealer.
Clearly, I'm buying a brick of cocaine. Like he's a drug dealer.
What is the reasonable expectation that the shit's gonna go wrong?
Nigga, that's a 50-50 is gonna go wrong.
I'm giving it about I'm gonna be honest, I'm giving it a 70-30 that is going.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit higher than that because it's not just him, but it's also like the threat of maybe the law getting involved.
Yeah, the law. I mean, you think about it when you weigh the scale. When you weigh the scale, the reason I say it's 50-50 because I say you weigh the scale, you got niggas might set you up and take that 20. How much you paying for the brick?
Right.
The police might roll up on your ass, or the police might know you done bought that. Police might know you bought that brick, and now you on a payroll, so it can go.
And now you work for them, right?
So collectively back in the day, people were essentially going to buy bricks, engaging with these folks, engaging with these high-powered people in the industry. It's the same. It's a very similar equivalency to going to go buy a brick. There's a likelihood that that person is going to weaponize their power against you because that is the context of how they operate in general. And just in general. So what I'm saying, I wasn't on the jury. I didn't hear all of the evidence for or against. So I wasn't there, but just reasonably speaking, it's just a slippery slope for me to say that it's okay for an androgynous white woman to come around 50 years later and say some shit that we all know looks to be kind of fabricated. And then we be like, well, that nigga was doing it, so that execution of his character is okay.
Bill Cosby touched my ass in 1995. I'm still waiting on my $750,000.
But let me ask you this. Bill Cosby touched your ass. If Bill Cosby touched your ass in 1995, did you immediately go to the police the day after?
Did you not hear me say I'm waiting for my money?
So
if it's about money,
this like that Camp Lejeune chick that they waiting on now.
I'm talking shit. I've never met Bill Cosby. I'm talking shit.
Where's the merit? Where's the honor if it's about money? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think these women are being honorable more so than they're trying to get paid.
But let's kind of separate it this way though too. And like I said before, when it comes to rape is a very serious issue. If I ruled the world, rapes would be sodomized in the ass by a bull. I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
You know what? As soon as you do that to the wrong person, then the same shit gonna happen to you because it's not 100% accurate. That shit is a slippery slope. That's my whole fucking point of this whole conversation.
Not a slippery slope. When she say no, that means no. You
can't inflict bodily harm because you know why? Because people lie, Slim. People fucking lie, Slim. It's been proven that people lie. So you make that shit the fucking penalty. You incentivize people to weaponize that because they know the outcome. That's fucking bullshit. As a black man, I am astonished that you would take a stance of automatic someone should be castrated, and that shit was happening to us knowing that shit was not true. That shit is you know how many uncles were touching kids though? You know how many uncles were touching kids and going to cookouts? It's a fucking problem, bro. You're not listening to my point. I'm not saying that.
You're not listening to me either. We gonna do this again. We always do
what y'all saying.
Every person, regardless.
Y'all talking on two sides of the same coin.
I'm talking about process is what I'm talking about.
You're talking about from the side of the
about due process.
So So what I'm hearing, like I said, it sounds like it's two sides coming from the same coin. On one side, you got Slim saying that if a man is guilty of rape, he should get whatever's dealt to him and change. Monk is saying, yeah, but he should be proven guilty, not just being accused of being a rapist. I can
If
see
you're
both sides of
accused,
that argument
No,
because the
if
thing
you're
is,
accused,
there
that's
have
one thing. But
let me
if it's
finish. Let me
proven, you
finish. There
did it.
have been
Yes.
so many.
that's the point
There,
about the accusation.
there
Which
have been so
why it's
many that
important.
have been falsely accused, as
You're
opposed to
right. It
those
has been, and
who
that's why
were
I
let
say I deal with
who
facts, not
there's
opinion.
some who let
But you talking about
hold on, let me finish, Slim. Hold on, let me finish. So on one side, Slim is saying that there's some that was walking around touching people in the family, get invited to the barbecue, and like nothing happened. Whereas Monk's saying where there's been so many falsely accused and strung up on trees or given lengthy sentences for something they didn't do. We're talking on two different sides of the same coin, though.
I agree. Like I said,
Yeah.
if you're guilty, that's what I'm trying to say. If it is proven, especially with children, I don't play that shit with kids. Like no, you fucking little kids, nigga, automatically. I don't want his shit. Let me see. I think the bill was too big of a figure for them not to feel intimidated going after charges. With public acceptance, one would assume that no one would believe them. Hence why so many came forward and was brave to speak up. And with the statement that Nikisha just made, that goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. There are a lot of women who have been raped who were automatically shut down and were downplayed, and that's why a lot of rape victims don't come forward. That's what I was trying to say. Like, there's a lot of women who have been raped. Like,
I understand that.
I've talked about, and yes, women do lie, yes,
not
but I'm
negating,
all, but also it's some that you like.
I'm not negating that, but let's not we also have to look at the static like there are no static, like there are no variables. Bill Cosby is a dark skinned big black man. He was definitely engaging with a lot of white women, regardless of regardless of his power or his perceived level of power. You ain't gonna tell me that Bill Cosby is intimidated every white woman that he came in contact with. Every white woman that he came in contact with, Bill
Bill
Cosby
Cosby
had the
wasn't
power.
intimidating nobody. He was fucking Bill Cosby.
Listen
He
to what
wasn't
I'm
intimidating nobody.
in
That's what I'm
this
saying. He was. They
world.
came at him. Yes, they
In,
came at him. I know that.
in,
Yes.
in this world at that time, a big black man is just going around just freely just raping white women, and not one white woman went to the police. Not one.
I gotta agree on that. But that
Not
time,
one white
but that
woman.
time, but that time period, Bill would have been hanging from the next tree.
I mean,
So once again, when everyone's in the demolition derby, why all of a sudden, you want to be the only one to file an accident claim, but everybody was running into each other haphazardly. Now all of a sudden you was violated. That's my point. So when you introduce the notion that women don't come because of, I get that, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this situation right here that seems to have taken a life on its own over the past 30 years and culminated in an 80-something-year-old man being sent to prison and having his name tarnished for something that could not even really be proved, that should not have even gone to trial, which should let you know the level of evidence right there. So when you're talking about if it's proven, I'm using your own words in your argument.
and then proven.
So you can't come back and say that he did that shit if it was proven that he shouldn't have even been going to trial in the first place. So as it stands, the man is legally innocent, and you got to
pull up the court document. Let's pull up the court document. Let's pull the court document.
Innocent. You got to say it.
I'm not saying no. We pulling court documents. Goddamn it! Hold on.
You gotta.
Hold up.
Conviction was overturned. If the conviction was overturned,
let's do it this way. Because let's deal with facts instead of opinion. Let's see. Wow.
The original.
That's what we saying, Keisha. That what he went to jail for, the charge was actually overturned. So it's almost as saying that we accused him of it, we said he did it, but then we found out he didn't do it. My bad. And then they let him out.
But
For,
even
for,
at
for
the
lack of better terms.
original charge shouldn't have been filed in the first place.
Right.
That was the whole reason why it was overturned, because they didn't even have enough evidence to even go forward with it.
True.
That's the problem.
But then again, I mean, and we say that, but what the hell exactly happened to where he ended up getting convicted? Like Bill Cosby shouldn't have saw a day of jail.
They should got a nigga when he did this shit. Hold up.
So that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, there's there's a lot of new nuances and dynamics at play. I get that, but it is very, very hard. And I've never said that the man innocent. I've never said that he's innocent. I've never said that he's guilty. I'm talking about the process in which we get to that understanding without having an emotional response of who he is. Exactly. The damage is already done.
Right.
That's why you can't go and castrate every man that is accused of some shit.
Accused. You know, we're not castrating everybody. We're talking about Bill as a topic, is what I'm saying. Hold up. I found it.
Okay. So to your point, let's say your law was in effect and we castrated Bill, and then they came back afterwards and let him go. Nigga, you get your nuts cut off because you were fucking wrong. What's up with that? That's what I'm saying. You have to be very careful about physical.
If I fucked up, I can say, yeah, I fucked up.
Nah, but you get your balls cut off.
If I fuck up, I can say, yeah.
Ain't no
fuck it, man. I don't even make no
You
sense no way. Fuck it. Cut them off. Let me see.
What? That nigga ain't no nigga. You is not finna. Nah, you ain't finna risk your mother.
Hold up. The split.
The rest of your life balls because you want somebody else to have their balls cut off when the shit came up wrong.
Split.
That's why capital punishment is such a thing. I get what you're saying.
The split court found that Cosby was unfairly prosecuted because the previous district attorney had promised the comedian. The split court found that Cosby was unfairly prosecuted because the previous district attorney had promised the comedian, most known as America's Dad, that he wouldn't be charged over Constance's accusations. Cosby was charged by another prosecutor who claimed he wasn't bound by that agreement. The court said that's not the case. The justices found that Cosby relied on that promise when he agreed to testify without invoking his Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination in a lawsuit brought against him by Constance. Can somebody get a lawyer on the motherfucking line so we can break this shit down?
And that was
the court concluded that the prosecutor who later brought the charges was obligated to stick to the non-prosecution agreement. Yeah. So the agreement of a non-prosecution is why he got off. Is what it sounded like.
Because essentially the DA, and you gotta think about this. The DA basically said, "Hey, you can say whatever in this deposition, right? In this account, and we're not going to hold it against you." Flip the script. Let somebody else do it, and then everything that he said. This is the reason why it's problematic, because everything that he said the first time, all they had to do was get those court records and just give it to her. Like, that's all they had to do. You got the fucking playbook.
It sounded like I don't know, bro. This shit sounded like it's from.
I'm not speaking on. I'm not. If it was that fucking bad for this woman, if it was that fucking bad, why did they have to go find her to get her to do this type of shit? That's what all these years later, it's just certain shit. I get the whole thing about the rape and all that, but we talking about a black man going around raping white women, and none of them go to
the white women he did it to, though. It wasn't white women he did it to.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's been it's been so many black men that hung from trees from lies from white women. So
I mean, of course.
I'm not convinced.
I did that. I did. So,
Julius Stimmy's dead for that.
And that's real though. It's like, you know, I could see it on both sides of the plane. Well, Monk, I see you right is in the fact that in that time period, if Bill was really out here raping white women, Bill would have been on the nearest tree in the nearest yard somewhere. But it's Slim at the same time. Slim, I get what you saying too, though. Let me finish. So I get what you saying too, that, you know, rapists, proven convicted rapists need to be brought to justice. Totally agree. Because they shouldn't be able to come back to the cookout and sit there and pick another victim. So I totally agree with that. Right now, the fact that a lot of this shit happened before any one of the three of us were born, we can't really speak on it, but what we got in front of us, you know what I'm saying, as far as allegations. Like nobody could really say this is the truth because none of us was there. We all got here in the 80s. Hell, Bill, whatever he had done, he was accused of 10 years before we even got here. So
Yeah.
there's that in a nutshell. But that's real though. Like I said, I could see both point of views. Y'all really speaking on the same, you know what I'm saying, the same coin, just two different sides of it.
We are.
Yet, yet and still, y'all, yet and still, this is what happens when Slim and Monk hit the building. We finna get some meat and potatoes, y'all. We finna get some meat and potatoes.
This is what we do, y'all.
It is what we do. Like, look,
60 women.
put two Virgos in the box, and then this happens. Dopeness.
60 women? Oh shit.
Carolyn Bryant, they found a warrant for Carolyn Bryant at the bottom of Mississippi courthouse for her involvement, and she obviously lied about her involvement in the death of Emmett Till, and they declined to prosecute this lady, and she's 80-something years old. Once again, my only issue with what Slim is saying from a philosophical standpoint is, if that was the case, if it was that cut and dry when it comes to people's intentions of accusations, we wouldn't need the Innocence Project. We wouldn't need the Innocence Project. You wouldn't have people that were already convicted of things being exonerated years later. So I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm not trying to have people physically maimed when we know that this system is not 100% just in its application of said quote unquote justice.
This my shit. It'll be goddamn justice. Because my shit, we're doing digging.
That's
But my
take Socrates, take Socrates' stance in the credo, and if they ever come to you and they say that that you did something and you get convicted, I want you to have that same intensity about your fate as you have it for everybody else.
yeah, but and for me, because my black ass, first off, I'm gonna say this now, as far as on the topic of women, I'm gonna say this now.
Oh Lord.
In my 39 years, 3 days, 2 hours, and 22 minutes on this planet.
Speak on it.
Right. Go ahead, bro, with your countdown, like you're online.
I ain't never had to take no pussy. I'm too fly of a nigga to ever. But what I'm saying is this.
Yeah,
I will go buy, hold on. I will go buy some ass before I go take some ass. I'll purchase it before I go out like that. But I'll purchase it before I go out like that. Fuck no. At this stage of my life, I ain't doing no fuckery. If I go to jail now, it's gonna be a legit. I don't sell no dope. They got work. Mind my motherfucking business. If I catch a motherfucking charge today, it's gonna be because a nigga was trying to take my life or a nigga did something to my mom. If a nigga do something to my mama, you goddamn right I'm going to jail. And I'm gonna tell the motherfucking court in his motherfucking face, I don't give a fuck what time you give me, as long as the Braves win one more World Series, and as long as the motherfucking world know that It Was Written is better than Illmatic, I don't give a fuck what y'all do to me. That's how I feel.
Hey,
as long as the world know that, I don't give a fuck.
Hey.
All right. So the way it's looking, the Braves probably working on one of the World Series for you right now.
They definitely gonna be in the league championship again this year.
We one game behind the Mets. We one game behind the Mets. The Mets been throwing our ass all year.
And the Mets got a habit of collapsing late in the season anyway. So we just gotta just sit tight. You lucky I'm on duty. You need a woman to talk about this. Nah, you know what? We definitely it would definitely be nice to have a woman's perspective on this, because I don't want to come across like we're mansplaining this, but I'm advocating for the unequal application and assumption and presumption of guilt when it comes to men of color. You know what I'm saying? So, and I have to extend that to Mr. Cosby, because we're essentially saying that this dark-skinned black man was going around raping a bunch of white women and none of them went to the police. So until we can kind of get around that right there, when that's all they've been able to do, even if you just look at them wrong, right, until you can unpack that right there, then, not to say the nigga didn't, once again, I never said he was innocent. I said he's innocent technically.
I mean,
so it's
but
not.
you know, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's no statute of limitations on rape or murder. If I'm not mistaken, I think those two things.
I know murder's one. I'm not sure about rape.
Murder, there
I
is.
think those two are no statute of limitations. Now, as far as the Emmett Till chick, oh yeah, I look that right there. Yeah, that old bitch needs to be sitting in somebody's jail. Yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go. The same way they relocked up Byron De La Beckwith for killing Medgar Evers years later. She needs that same motherfucking treatment.
But once again, this highlights the protection that white women get from society. So once again, if a white woman can get a little black boy killed in 1955 and live to be 80 something and not have to go to jail, then there's no fear of her going to the police that a big black man raped her. That's I gotta stick with that. I just gotta stick with it.
I mean, it makes sense because we saw Rosewood get torn down over a lie of the same sort.
Man, we not even gonna go on Rosewood, but that was some bullshit.
Over a lie of the same sort. So I totally get what you're saying on that, month for real, like, because that was a calling card at one time.
And she didn't want to take that ass whooping. So yeah, nigga. Nah, bitch. You probably was fucking.
It's just the weaponized. It's just astonishing that no one thought to weaponize the easiest thing that a white woman can weaponize in America is just her white tears. Immediately. I don't understand. She could have went out in the middle of the street and cried and said Bill Cosby raped me, and it would have been the end.
These are facts.
I mean, it's like I said, I ain't gonna hold you. Like I said, my thing is, do I think some of the bitches was lying? Absolutely. Like Janice Dixon, bitch, you lying. Bitch, you lying.
So if she's lying, and they all are represented by the same people, and they're all
all of them were though. But
no.
It was 60 of them. I refuse to believe that 60. I refuse to believe that 60 motherfucking was running by the same motherfucker.
No, yes,
60
they were. That one white lady it's that same white lady. She does that. It's that one white lady, and she represents all of them. They don't have different lawyers. They be represented by this one white lady. She's a brunette white lady. I think she represented the chicks from the Deshaun Watson case.
Oh Lord.
We don't need Deshaun Watson alone. We gonna think about Deshaun.
Once again, no one went to the police. No one went to the police. If you go to the police, even if you go to the police within 3 months, it's a hell of a lot more believable than you not saying anything until something else prompts you to do something.
Facts.
We gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do some digging on this week because I'm curious about this whole shit. Because that's my project this week. I got to do a song for a couple of projects, and I need to do some digging behind this because, like I said, 60 women. I'm just saying, it's almost like 60. Man, I think Bill would take some time.
Do you know what's going on with George Foreman right now?
George Foreman.
That George Foreman shit's like that sound like some bullshit. That shit don't even sound right to me.
What's going on with George Foreman? One of y'all speak on it.
So,
they were saying that George Foreman, a woman, they're saying that George Foreman raped him like 50 years ago or something like that. Like, or sexually assaulted them or something like that 50 years ago. Now, I know George was wild. George was out here wilding like a motherfucker. That one,
goddamn energy now. Be careful.
Now with George, I don't know. George kind of sounds like.
Keep that.
I don't know about George. I don't think George. My thing with Bill though, because the thing is like, the reason I'm saying is with Bill. The reason why here's my things with Bill. Like I said before, it's not like if it was one, I'd be like, really, bitch, you wait until this nigga touched your ass in 1972. If it was one, I'd be like, hold up, ho. 60. Do you know what a private investigator does?
Nigga,
the name says it all. They privately investigate.
So when you hire a private investigator, you can find if I wanted to find out the last 100 people that you talked to, if I had enough resources, my nigga, I could find out.
Yeah, that's not hard. We in the era of technology, nigga. You can trace my whole step this whole day.
So once again, my point is that you have to kind of question the motives of people who are in an environment that's not based on ethics and morals. So why now, all of a sudden, all of these years later, when you could easily weaponize and get your justice very easily, no one would question you.
Like I said, Foreman, this is my first time.
Whether or not it's George Foreman, whether or not it's Bill Cosby, we're still talking about big black men, and we're talking about women,
little white women. True.
Yeah,
the thing is, like I said, whether it was true or not, she could have got him home from the near street. Just by saying,
but we also got to think about this too. This is also not. I'm using all kinds of scenarios. Just knowing how Hollywood moves now. And knowing how Hollywood moved then, there's a lot of cases where you can, even as a nigga, you can squeak through on some shit. I mean, come on, it's a lot of niggas who are doing shit now. Nigga, look how long it took him to nail R. Kelly. It took Kells years.
It wasn't no white bitch though.
I'm pretty sure he took some white pussy along the way.
Where the fuck they at? Why they wasn't in the documentary? I'm not pretty sure of shit.
He didn't have no white.
I'm not pretty sure of shit. I'm not finna make no assumptions. I'm pretty sure it was some white bitches. Okay, let them niggas come knock on your door and lock you up and say, I'm pretty sure you raped some white bitches. Let's see how long you keep that motherfucking energy, bro.
You know what? First off, if you're gonna say first off, she gonna have to show what the white girl ass look like, because I can already tell you, that, man. First off, I'm feeling like Andre 3000. What did Andre say on It's Deep? What did he say about what did he say on it? What's that verse? What's that line he said about?
I never fucked no white bitch. I stopped eating that pig stuff.
Something like that. So I'm like that. It ain't too many who done said they done got some of this mangina. Ain't too many that say they got some of this. Ain't too many that got some of this. Boy. Anyway.
Yo,
you got the whole floor to finish whatever you trying to say. You got the whole floor, my brother. Because as soon as you said mangina, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, it came out wrong.
Yeah,
okay, rewind. But my thing with the R. Kelly thing is this, and this is why I'm looking at him with the side eye. The black woman is devalued and often ignored. I'm not only rape, missing person, also healthcare. Nikisha, can I talk about that real quick too in a minute? Because I got a lot to say about that one too. Now, my thing with the R. Kelly thing, because the reason I'm so baffled is because I do remember that MTV. Remember, like they would do like news with like every 15 minutes on the hour, every 30 minutes on the hour.
Yeah,
I remember.
First.
And I remember that clip on R. Kelly and Aaliyah. I remember that. And you know, when I think about it, I'm like, yo, nigga, she was really like 15 years old, and this nigga was like 26. But then I also say in my head, like I was saying about Tammy Terrell, when Jane, like I said, we're gonna get them all, because James Brown was fucking with Tammy Terrell. He was 28, she was 16. Nigga, at 28 years old, I was not thinking about no 16-year-old pussy. At 28 years old, nigga, the 16-year-old, where your mama or your sister or your grandma. That's who I want. Get your little ass out my face.
I hear what you be saying. It's just you operate in this world of absolutes where you feel like everything is just so obviously identifiable, and you're thinking
not everything.
What I'm letting you know, no, everything is not easily identifiable. So when you are in an environment where the presumption is who they say they are, like a situation with a 16-year-old Tammy Terrell,
very uncomfortable.
But my point is that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you were told in an environment that you assume everyone is supposed to be of age. With kind of like the Playboy man. Are you expecting some 15-year-old to be in the Playboy Mansion, or are
Hell
you
no.
hollering, or if you
But
just hollering
First of all,
hold on, nah, time out. Or are you just hollering at some women when you go in there? If she's attractive, you hollering at her, right? You're not
But you-
asking her
you
age.
can look at a 15-year-old and tell.
No,
and,
you
and I'm saying,
can't. No, you
shit, who
can't.
can?
No, you can't.
Who
You
can?
can't.
Nigga,
You
I can.
can't. You're not perfect.
No
You
shit.
know what? You know what? All right. You know what? You just a goddamn superhero because you don't never fucking make a mistake. You don't ever make a misstep. You got
Who don't make
fucking perfect
mistakes?
vision. I'm telling you that in certain environments where the expectation is reasonable, that people are above age,
I get what he's saying.
like
I
goddamn,
understand.
you're not
So
fucking
what
perfect.
he's saying pretty much, because this has happened to me. So I'm at Envy on Spring Street. Anybody, both y'all should remember
Yeah, I
Envy.
know. Yeah, I already know. You know, I know
I'm
about
in
that.
Envy on Spring Street having a good time. Now at the time I'm like 20, but you know it was, I think it was like 18 to party, 21 to drink. Got there in there having a good time. Woo, woo, woo. Meet this girl, and she's a senior in high school, and she's not 18 yet. See what I'm saying? But I'm thinking because I'm in Envy on Spring Street, you got to be at least 18 to be in here. She's not 18 yet. You see what I'm saying? So I'm assuming because of the setting, i.e., like you said, at the Playboy Mansion, should have been grown women in there, i.e., R. Kelly parties, should have been grown women there, i.e., Envy on Spring Street, should have been grown women there as well, or at least over 18. Yet I find a 17 and a half year old in there.
With
Can
body, smoking a cigarette, representing herself as a mature 18 and up young lady. Just representing herself.
I get it. I'm speaking on
deserve to have your balls cut off if you make a mistake like that.
Hold on. Hear me out. Let me
Let him finish.
So I'm gonna tell you why I'm cautious and why I say I move how I move. I'm gonna give you something I went through as a teenager, and this is why I'm like, no, nigga, intuition. Fuck that. So, long time ago, a teenager. This is the AOL days. You got to. So it's AOL days. So I met this bro. Man, I got two stories, man. I got two fucking stories. Let me give you this first story.
Give me the first one.
So I was running with this cat, and he was telling me about these chicks he met in this little spot around this little hood around the way. And I was like, he was like, yo, you gotta take me out there. He was like, yo, shorty 18, and she bad little Puerto Rican joint. She got homegirls. So, you know how I get down, threw my shit on. We out there. I'm leaning up on the cutlass, playing knives and shit, and their homegirls is at me. And I'm looking at them and how they talking and how they're acting. And I'm like, yo, these girls don't act like 18-year-olds. I'm like, this isn't something in my soul said, yo, this isn't right. And nah. So I got back in the car and I told my man, like, yo, we gotta go. So about a week or so later, that same chick was at his crib. The chick mama pulls up in the yard and said the girl was 13. This was on some May shit. I'm like, I knew it. And I'm like, yo, I'm glad I let these little bras alone. So I'm like, and that is more, it's a more fucked up parts of that story that I don't even want to even talk about. The second incident happened where the AOL days, met this chick. We vibing, talking. We are old as fuck. God damn. Y'all get y'all prostate checked next year, man.
I didn't get my PS this past 2 years, bro. I didn't wait till afterwards. I know my PSA levels now.
Man, listen. I gotta talk about that. And the next thing you know, the other bro was fucking AOL days. Her fucking father,
Lucinda,
called me and was talking to me and my boy, and he flat out said that no, my daughter is not. I was like, yo, what? And he was like, nah, my daughter is 14 years old, and my boy was in the Air Force, and who was we at these chicks too. And it was like, yo, what the fuck? So those two incidents have made me very cautious when it comes to now back to what Nikisha was talking about. Yes, I feel that in a lot of cases with black women, that black women definitely get disrespected. And I think that in the Aaliyah situation, yes, it should have been handled differently. I think the people that were around Aaliyah, I think Aaliyah was groomed. I believe in my heart they groomed that girl for that situation. And we can even go a level further. We can even say Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown was definitely groomed, man. Like when I think about that Il Nana album cover, granted when the shit came out, we was kids, man. We was when Il Nana came, was like what? I was like what, 13?
Hey, I want to say that
So
was like
Hey,
seven. I would say Il Nana was like seventh
hey,
grade, wasn't it?
hey,
Seventh, eighth grade.
hey, Nikisha brings up a really, really good point. She says that every female lied about their age at one point in their life. And I understand there is the disrespect that black women endure. And I'm not gonna talk about us as a whole, I'm gonna talk about them specifically. But I also have to hold my sisters accountable for the fact that even when I was in high school, I saw the videotape of R. Kelly on that. When I was in high school, black women continued to support this man for the next 20 years.
But you know what happened after that
Hold
tape dropped?
on, because
What happened?
I got a point with this.
What happened after
It
that tape
happens
dropped,
like
man?
that. It happens like that. We want to talk about how a certain portion of the populace is disrespected, but I hear the music. I hear the same dialogue that you're engaging in, and I'm not saying that you're asking, but it's almost like you're condoning the messages in the music.
but
You
what's
have to
crazy?
because niggas weren't at the front of R. Kelly concert. It was black women who was at the front of R. Kelly concert, grabbing on him, throwing their panties up on stage. And this was as recent as like 2 years ago before he went on trial.
That's true.
So if we're gonna talk about this, we have to talk about the
Hey,
culture.
Slim,
What
We
up?
have to talk about
you
the
got
culture.
you got something echoing.
Oh, can you hear me now? Am I good now?
No, it's echoing every time Monk talk. It's almost like you got me to a speaker or something. Now I hear
Oh
me.
shit. Am I good now?
Mic check, mic check. Yeah, we good.
Okay.
No, we not.
That's me
So
again?
Yeah, we coming through your speakers really loud.
yeah, nah, it's cool. It's cool. So like I said, this is not, I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is a shared accountability for us as a people. So yes, black women are disrespected. But I also on the same token, I also have to look at black women and say, hey, you guys have to elevate the standard in which you're going to use your dollars. Using your dollars, it kind of perpetuates disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So, look at Boosie buying his son.
But young
Um,
I'm gonna be honest. That's not cool with me.
Nah, it's
as
not.
a,
It's what
as
what
the father of
it,
a son,
no,
let
hold on. Let me explain that right there. What's been going on is that black women in our community have been getting away as being sexual predators for a very long time. So what that shows me is that Boosie was most likely sexually assaulted as a young kid and never got therapy for it. So we have to start holding that.
oh shit. I ain't trying to go out. Damn it. Oh, there you go. You back. Oh, this thing doing what it want to do. Oh, yes.
Oh, is it good now? Good now?
Hold up. I muted him.
Well, like he dropping a cold ass burst pointing to his head.
Right, right. Hey, Monk, it say your mic ain't connected. Check your mic, Monk. Your mic. It say his mic ain't connected. He's going in right now. Right. This shit
But my
crazy.
thing with R. Kelly though is this too though, man. R. Kelly flat
Hey,
out.
Monk, check your mic.
Yo, R. Kelly flat out said what he was doing on that song. I like to cry to you. R.
Oh
Kelly
God.
flat out. No, Monk is
Hey,
right though.
Monk, say
I'll say
something else.
this.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, we missed damn near. Well, I ain't gonna say damn near. We missed all of that because the mic had got disconnected.
Yeah, I was somebody was calling me. I think I think I muted the mic. But my apologies. But real quick though, you know what I'm saying? Just a minor recap. My whole point is that at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we just can't, you know what I'm saying, we can't contribute to, there's a level of accountability with that. You know what I'm saying? So if Boosie bought a woman for his son, first of all, he can't buy a human being. So he purchased the sexual services of a woman for his son, thinking that it's a badge of honor, probably because he was sexually assaulted by a woman. We don't look at that shit as sexual assault, but we got to call it what it is. The same way we're going to go in on R. Kelly. It's not a badge of honor for these older women to be having sex with these little boys, breaking them in, creating sexually hypersexualized black men, having to always prove their masculinity because they've been exploited by a woman at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, which happens all the fucking time, but we don't talk about it.
But see, and that's what I'm saying. You know, somewhere it's cool that if your son fuck around with an older woman, like it's a high five.
It's
No,
not fucking cool.
I will kill a fucking woman over my son. After being a father of a son, let something out here 30-some years old put their hands, they ragged hands.
If you let me tell you, Agony,
like
if you did that, if you killed a woman, because she did that, the perception in America is so perverted and perverse that you gonna go to jail for the rest of your life when you shouldn't, because you killed a woman. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna go ahead and speak on that. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of go clean out my closet some on this topic here. Is the echo still going?
No, you finally got straight. Wherever you at, it's finally.
I hear it when either one of us talk.
Okay. All right. So I'm a victim of this shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. As a child, not gonna say who, but yeah, I was one of those little boys who got touched by an older woman. It happened. You know, I was very confused when the incident took place. Actually, I was very confused. I did not confused as I didn't know what the fuck to think of what happened to me. I was very confused. You know, the person who did it was molested as well by their father. I found out years later. As I've gotten older, I think I might have been a little hypersexual, because I think as far as my sex life, and I found myself over the years, I found myself usually messing with older women. I've had, oh God, I think the oldest woman I messed with, I was in my late 20s, and she was about well over 15 years older than me. It was fun. I ain't gonna hold you. But in my mind, I feel at that age, I knew what I was doing. But over the years, I kind of wonder, as now with, me being in therapy, I kind of wonder if that particular incident has played, a role in probably how I've acted sexually. Because I've had that problem with relationships. I've been in relationships and hypersexual. Oh, nigga, I'm cheating. I've cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you be out here, like, it be one, and you're like, nah, I'm like, this pussy guy, I'm gonna go fuck another one. And you be out here wilding. And now that I'm older, I'm pushing 40, you kind of look at your life and you kind of reflect like, damn, it's a cause and effect to everything. So that there would be no that without this. So that happening probably brought me to this point. So, yeah, I definitely, now that I'm older, I'm real funny on that. I get real funny when women say things, little boys like, that's my little boyfriend. No, bitch, he's not your boyfriend. Because, I lived it. And not that the woman said that that's my little boyfriend. No, that wasn't said to me. But the fact that shit happened, and now that I'm older, I'm like, God damn, like this is the effect. So that I think I've had a problem with that because my sex life has been shit, shit. You know,
Well, you got to describe it as that yo. Further no, yeah, that's a mess. But I feel you, man. And, you know, it's deep and brave of what you're saying. That you know, what I'm saying, actually sharing that part about you. Damn, I'm sorry, that's it, dog. But actually coming on here and sharing that part about your life, man, like that's deep to even speak on publicly, especially knowing that Dope is a platform with multi-million views. Okay, I'm lying. It's like 30 people, but that's beside the point. It's like a million. It's like whatever. But my thing is this right here. So knowing that and knowing that that could have been a cause to the effect of the life that you lived, how do you how do you go about as Antonio Slim fixing that?
um, well, me now, I'm in therapy now. I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm in therapy now. I mean, cause
That's real. That's real.
um, I think black people. I'm saying if I hear him go and say it now, fuck it. Black people don't know a goddamn thing about therapy. All we know about therapy is they tell us go pray to a white Jesus. Think about how many times we as black people have probably talked about what we've been through, and the first thing they tell you, go take it to the Lord, go pray about it, and
That's
then
true.
motherfuckers end up killing themselves because the inner shit fucks with you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't deal with that. Like therapy is always frowned upon, and I think about that just in my life. I had an uncle who I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he went to jail for 7 years. Came home and looking back at it now in retrospect, he should have went straight to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
He should have went right into therapy. And sometimes when things happen to you, trauma's a real fucking thing, man. And when you go through trauma, um, sometimes we end up self medicating ourselves. And I think that a lot of black people, especially black men, I'm just thinking about the 80s and 90s and now. While some of our fathers ended up on drugs and things like that, drugs become a form of self medication. Sex is a form of self medication. Alcohol is a form of self medication.
This is true.
Fucking, there's a lot of things that become self medication. I mean, I even look at Big Pun and I think about Pun and the shit he went through and how food became his self medication, and that shit ended up killing him. You know what I mean? And and it's like and just him and just watching how the shit he'd been through, and then watching how drugs and alcohol like fucked him up. You know what I mean? It's wild. I remember one time he told me something that my mother's father had told him, and it fucked him up even worse. And I think a lot of us need that because a lot of us have probably been some traumatic shit, and we just don't know how to explain it. We don't know how to deal with it. The people around us, I'm understanding that a lot of people around us that will pray about it is almost like a mechanism for themselves because they probably have been through trauma and they don't even know how to deal with that shit on their own.
That's real.
And that's kind of where I'm at now, like in therapy. So much shit has happened in my life. So much shit has happened. And it's like you get to a point now where you just kind of want to make sense of the shit you've been through and you want to move forward. And sometimes it's not the best. I can admit that. That probably is why I've had failed relationships when it comes to women. Like I have mastered, I ain't gonna say I've mastered. I don't want to say mastered. I'm good at fucking. I'm good at fucking. I ain't gonna
If
even
there,
hold you.
if there was any question, still
I'm gonna
got
do something. I'm gonna do something strange to you. I'm gonna do something strange to you. You gonna remember this shit. But I've mastered fucking, but I suck at relationships. I am my relationship game is trash. Like my relationship game is trash, bro. It's trash. Situation I was in, I can admit the situation I was in. My last situation, I took that girl through a lot. And it's definitely probably why she doesn't want to talk to me now. I took that girl through a lot. I was not the easiest motherfucker to deal with. And now,
that's why she don't want to talk to me now.
huh?
I'll just laugh because you said that's why she don't want to talk to me now.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I can admit that. And I'm like, man. And she was genuinely wanting to love me, and I genuinely just didn't really know how to really love myself. And you know, that shit definitely created a lot of problems. Would you say you're emotionally unattached? I sometimes wonder that. I sometimes wonder am I emotionally unattached? Because honestly, I don't really know. My emotional intelligence is very low. Like if it's an argument, like it's like choosing violence. Oh, I'll choose violence quick. I don't fuck niggas up. A few years ago I beat a nigga ass at my job.
Yo, I remember that.
I fucked that nigga up. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Hey, y'all, he still been too. He really whooped that nigga.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, as far as my emotionally unattached, I definitely feel that way because it's like, even as a child, I remember, my mother wasn't, as much as I love Shelly, I love my mom. I definitely, sometimes you hear me say Shelly, I'm talking about my mother. We're very close in age. My mom had me when she was 21, right? So the stuff she dealt with, she wasn't necessarily the give me a hug, I love you type mother. She wasn't that type of mother. So I really didn't see that. Now when it came to her and her relationships were very tumultuous. I remember her second husband, they fought a lot. She actually ran him over with a car one time. She ran him over with a car. One time he tried to hit her with a 40-ounce bottle, and she put a knife to his throat. And she was like, I will cut your Adam's apple out right in front of your sister. Hold on. Would you agree that some men feel as though they aren't worthy of love due to society beating you down subconsciously, emotionally, and physically? That's very possible. I don't think it's worthy. I think it's either that, and I think that after a while it becomes where you become desensitized to the shit, and you might not really even want love because you probably don't really even know what that shit is, and sex is probably the next best thing to it. You just know, and I think that it kind of becomes a what's the word I'm trying to find? Alternative. So yeah, I would, yeah, but so you know, I didn't see that shit. I didn't really see that. Even like my grandparents, my mother's parents were very fucked up. Well, not my grandmother. I believe my grandmother took a lot of shit to her grave. There's a lot of shit I'm not gonna say, but I think my grandmother took a lot of shit to her grave from things that she dealt with, and they didn't even sleep in the same room. They slept in two totally separate rooms. So you really didn't see them really interact with each other. It would be my mother's father would come home, she'd cook, he'd eat his food, he'd be in one room, she'd be in the other. The only real time you've seen them really around each other is when the family came around, like when her brothers came around and they'd all sit around and they'd leave, say a few words, and go back to the other room. My father's parents, they live in two separate houses. They even live in the same fucking house. So I didn't really see that. My mother, like I said, all her relationships were all fucked up and tumultuous. Oh God, it was one nigga she was dealing with. I'll never forget this shit. It's one nigga she was dealing with, and my mom comes in the house. My mom's crying. First of all, why the fuck was I not in school that day? And I wasn't in school. I skipped school a lot in them days. So I wasn't home. My mom come in the house and she's crying. So I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? And Mom just shook her head and runs to her room. So the nigga she was fucking with him like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with my mom? What the fuck you do to her? And he's like, you want to know what's wrong with your mama? And he grabs a bottle of Hennessy. And he's like, that's what the fuck is wrong with your mom. And slamming the bottle on the table. And I'm like, oh, my mom's an alcoholic now. Oh, this is funny to you. And my brother Marius can co-sign this shit. He was right there. So I look at him. I look at the nigga who did the shit. I look at my brother. I'm like, you gonna let this nigga talk about your mama like this? And you cool with this shit? I said, you know what? Fuck that. So I go on the knife rack. You know, a black person got that knife rack. So I grabbed the motherfucking butcher knife off the knife rack. I tried to stab the nigga. And right when I got ready to stab him, I'm literally inches away from stabbing that nigga. My brother grabbed me. Because I was going to gut that nigga. That nigga was going to be done for. I was going to kill that nigga that day. Dude. So I never saw that. I never saw that. So I think that when it came to me in my older year relationships, I ain't gonna do that shit. And I really believe that things you go through make you who you are. So there's certain things you didn't see, and it's a lot of people, not even just men, I think women too. If you never really saw that kind of environment, you don't know how to really handle it. You don't know how to deal with the shit.
That's very true.
Because you never saw it. It's almost like somebody telling you, go fly this airplane. Motherfucker, how?
Right. Right. And you would think it's something like love and companionship would be something we would take advantage, we would take for granted just as people because everybody know how to do that, right? But if you ain't grow up seeing that your whole life, then how will you know?
Exactly. And and I think that now that I'm older, you kind of start to look back at everything. Oh, do you believe a two-parent household and prevalent in changing our kids' outlook on finding a husband or wife? That's a two-way street, man.
Yeah, yes or no.
That's a two-way street. I think if you saw that, you would want that. Yes, a lot of people have not seen love and not reciprocated. Yes.
Right.
I think that but then again, you might be in a two-parent household where the parents are probably only there because they have children.
Right. And because one thing about two-parent households, they can be dysfunctional as well.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then I know some people who grew up in one-parent households and marriages is all right. And then there's some who, it just, I don't know. I don't know. It can go either way. You know what I mean? So you in reality, yeah, you would not. Well, in a perfect world, yeah, that would be it. I see some folks who they'd be married and their marriages with kids is just fucked up as if whether they was a single parent household.
Right.
So it can go either way. There's no love being shown in the house. Like I said, my mom, when she was married, that household was definitely a very toxic environment. And my mom wasn't always in the wrong, but then knowing things my mom has been through, I think she didn't even know how to really even deal with that. Pardon me, I'm fucking with my Funkos, y'all. I mean, off topic but on topic, kind of going through my Funko collection. So if you are a Funko head like myself,
dude,
I got some shit.
I was at Walmart the other day. I said, I'm not gonna start this shit with you.
Nigga, I got some shit.
Nigga, I saw that one with DX on it, Shawn Michaels from Triple H, the DX shirts. I said, I'm not doing this shit with you.
Nigga, I just ordered my Biz Marquee joint. It'll be here in a minute.
Even better. But yeah, just to kind of put a wrap on the night, man, put a bow on it. Yo, y'all see how the dope show can go. We started off talking about Meg Thee Stallion, goddamn, her and all the shit that she's been pretty much using to get over, get ahead, and how it looked like it's somewhat biting in the ass now. From that to R. Kelly to Bill Cosby to a real life session right here, y'all. Yo, you come to the dope show, anything liable to happen. Big shouts out to everybody coming through the chat. Big shouts out to Music Monk. Big shouts out to my boy Slim coming through, kicking good shit. Slim, tell these people what you got going on, where they can find you, and how they can get in touch with you.
I mean, well, since all you niggas is on Facebook right now, yeah, you can just follow me on Facebook. Quentin Presley. You can follow me on Facebook. I promise my page is. You don't know what the fuck to think when you see my motherfucking Facebook page. You're gonna get some entertainment. You're gonna get some edutainment. You're gonna be like, yo, this nigga's crazy. It's a lot of shit to be talking. I got a lot of shit to talk about. Right now I am um right now also working on a few projects. Hopefully I'll be putting out a book soon. I gotta put out music. I'm back outside. I gotta, drop some shit. It definitely is time. I got some shit to talk about. I got bars too. So you want to friend me on
Right.
Facebook, Quentin Presley? Yes. I definitely, you will definitely entertain. Instagram Slim Scorsese, SLIM_SCORSESE. I think that's on my social media. Oh yeah, on Twitter, Antonio_Slim. I really don't be on Twitter like that ever since my Herschel Walker episode. Yeah, yeah. That's another story, man. Yeah, I got into a back and forth with Herschel Walker a couple of years ago on motherfucking Twitter. That bitch ass nigga got me suspended from Twitter. Punk ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Fucking Herschel Walker, whole ass got mad. The bitch got mad at me. First off, he was talking about my boo Angela Rye. Don't come for my boo Angela Rye. I don't play that shit. You leave my boo alone. That's my boo. You leave Angela Rye alone, nigga. So he was popping off at Angela Rye. I jumped in. Then he made a comment about LeBron James. And I called him. I might have called him a coon. I might have possibly called him a coon. I might have possibly told him he was stupid. I might have told him that he ain't did shit relevant since the University of Georgia. I might have told him he's not a better running back than Emmitt Smith. I might have said these things. It's possible I said these things to him.
Highly likely.
You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, they kicked me off of motherfucking Twitter because of his bitch ass. But I'm back on Twitter now. And then my Twitter page now is probably more on some hip hop shit. I don't really be, I don't want them kicking me off Twitter no more for hurting somebody's feelings.
That's real. That's real. But yeah, so make sure y'all follow my boy on all his platforms. Like he said, he got new entertainment for y'all. He got new music finna drop. He got book finna come out soon. We just waiting on it soon. But yo, also, y'all know how to find me. Y'all can find me Dope Enterprise on Facebook, Dope Enterprise on YouTube, Dope Dot Enterprise on Instagram. Be looking for that quick 30 every Wednesday. Now the quick 30 is on every platform. So now the quick 30 is on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You come to the Dope Show. The Dope Show is gonna be on Facebook and YouTube. So yo, we shooting for multiple platforms tonight, man. Make sure y'all tell a friend, and make sure when y'all go and find this stuff on the socials, make sure y'all share it. Definitely make sure y'all share this, like for real, because it's not about reaching the people I know. I'm trying to reach the people I don't know, which is the people y'all know. So holler at your people and let them know, yo, this is where you need to be at. Make sure y'all tune in this Wednesday for the quick 30 this Friday. I got my brother, the God, Jihad Yusuf, in the building. Until then, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. I am DJ Agony. That's Antonio Schlim. Big shouts out to Music Monk who was in the building. And we out. Peace.
Peace.